More and more we are becoming aware of the... After all, this is the year of the handy-capable. Well, recently, PM Magazine met a woman who is in her first year of dental school at the Oregon Health Sciences Center, and we believe she exemplifies the spirit of this year of the handy-capable. At the dentistry school of the Oregon Health Sciences University, there are 80 students struggling through their first of 4 years on the road to becoming a dentist. It's hard work, both to get in and to stay in. But for Billy Holbrook, getting into dental school was the beginning of an academic struggle, but the end of another. It was the end of her search for a career that fulfilled her desire to help people through medicine, and one that would use her hands. Because Billy is confined to a wheelchair, and she's the first mobility-impaired student ever to attend the school.
Well, what I did when I first got accepted was I called up or contacted a dentist who was handicapped, or is handicapped, who had been through dental school in a wheelchair, and I asked him what his barriers were. He said there were none. There isn't anything except, mental barriers.
For Billy, there have been plenty of barriers in the past. She was a healthy child and enjoyed an active life until she was 23. Then, while serving in the Peace Corps, a rare congenital condition flared up, causing a slow loss of mobility. A newlywed at the time, her husband left her, and Billy began to face life with advancing paralysis.
When the 3-year period hit, then I guess I started realizing that, this was going to be permanent. I better work on a job that I could do sitting down the rest of my life, and start adjusting to the kind of person I'm going to be.
At first, Billy tried nursing school, but that was before legislation prohibited discriminatory admission policies for the handicapped, and Billy was rejected. A dentist friend suggested she try dental hygiene, and from there, she decided to go a step further, on to dental school.
At first, I wasn't too enthusiastic about it, but I knew it would be in the field of medicine, so I went ahead, and then I found I enjoyed it. I enjoyed especially being with people. Yeah, it does match. It helps me overcome my nervousness about my own handicap when I'm close to a person and working on them, and then they accept me for, the person I am, because they don't have to see me in any other kind of action.
Billy makes some adaptations in using the tools for class. She brings the standard foot pedal her classmates use up to table level and operates it with her wrist or elbow. She anticipates later having special finger controls designed for the more advanced equipment. It was the architectural barriers that concerned the school when Billy enrolled. The dean promptly rode around campus in a borrowed wheelchair to identify problem areas. There is now a ramp into a previously inaccessible entrance. But there are still several necessary detours, including some rather unusual routes.
I think that everyone should assume that I need help getting a door open, or, that they're right there with me. I'm not proud. Most everyone in the class has approached me just on the side and said, well, Billy, if there's anything that you need, you just let me know, and I'll see that we can get this done a little more easily.
At this point, I think all of us are at the point in orienting the Steadicast.
I don't feel that mine is such a great push, but there are people in the school who are going through, who are family people. They have their children. They have so many other demands. I have kind of an egocentric life, and they've got these children that are making demands on them. They've got their wives, and plus they've got this goal in their studies. I admire them.
Billy makes the commute to school by carpooling with a classmate. Today, they're taking her car, which has been adapted with hand controls for her type of automobile.
Well, you're so anxious to use hand controls rather than the foot controls. I I learned them out on the taxi strip at an airport, and it just took me about 5 minutes to get onto it. It's pretty easy when you know that you need it. This lever, my left-hand lever, is if I pull down toward the floor, it's the acceleration, and pushing toward the dashboard, then is the brake.
A pool isn't where you'd expect to find a wheelchair, but Billy is conscientious about exercise and is a frequent visitor to a local pool. She lowers herself with her arms, and once in the pool, the buoyancy of the water helps to support her.
I don't think there's anything that a handicapped person can't do.
Billy maintains her independence at home by doing all of her own housework. And on days when she can't make it to the pool, she uses an exercycle in her apartment. With 30% use of her left leg, she is able to pedal by pushing down with her good leg. But Billy insists she is no superwoman, that each day has its own obstacles and challenges.
I want them to know that it's a struggle. That it's not all, this great, cheery me. That it's hard and it's lonely. I always like to use this quote that from Paul in the Bible that says, man's strength is best seen through his weaknesses. And I feel that, what I've done is, a learning experience. What I've gone through, everything is. And there's joy in it.
We'll return with a look at our